So, y'all probably wonder why my leg is up like this. It's an old basketball injury that never really quite fixed itself, so occasionally it hurts off and on, and today's one of the days that it hurts.
It's been hurting for 3 days.
Yeah, so put a brace on it and keep it moving. So with this video, we decided to call each other out on things that we find problematic, or also call ourselves out on things that we find each other, or we find ourselves doing that we feel is problematic.
Now, I know you're wondering, why are we calling ourselves problematic? Because part of being an activist is knowing your own biases. And I know myself because I'm only a human.
And being aware of your privilege at the same time.
I'm aware of my privilege, I know my own biases, and I'm only a human. So I know I have thoughts that are like, wait, why am I thinking that this is not okay? But I think because I have the ability to call myself out on it and change that thought, it's like, that's the beauty of it. Like, I'm still learning as a person, so as long as I continue to learn and correct my problematic actions, that's all that really matters.
Okay, so I guess since it's fresh on my mind, we got on the train the other day to go get my testosterone from my doctor's office. And when we got on the train, somebody complained the whole time that we were on the train with homeless people and complained about the smell of the train.
But in my defense, yes, that's very problematic. But I have a fear of homeless people because my mother once was homeless. So it's kind of like a literal fear because I've seen it up close and personal.
But how is that a fear though? Like, why would you, if anything, you should embrace them more because your mother was once homeless? Because
it's kind of a trauma effect thing.
Okay.
Exactly.
Not exactly. We don't have time to sit and go back and forth.
Oh, Kaysen, I've been working on this very, very much. But Kaysen has a lot of issues that stem from the way he was raised, which I'm not going to fault him on that. We all have things that stem from the way we were raised, but he really looks down on people who has to rely on public transportation.
I don't look down on them. It's just that I wasn't raised to where I had to use public transportation, thankfully. I don't knock anybody who do, because I mean, you can have a car and still use public transportation. Living in Los Angeles, I understand.
Do you not remember that conversation we had?
What conversation?
You was like, yeah, I just don't think poor people only use public transportation. You said that out your mouth.
Texas.
No, that's when you was here.
No.
We were sitting outside of my school building.
When?
At USC.
No, duh. That's on school you go to. When though? When I first moved out here?
No, it was like a few months right before I told you you had to take the train to work.
A few months ago, so still it was.
Okay, not a month ago. A month when you first started working again.
No, I knew that. I was gonna get there.
Okay, anyway, your turn.
Like I was saying, because like now living in Los Angeles, I understand that now. When I was staying in Texas, it wasn't a need for me to use public transportation because I had my own car, or I had family members who I knew could get me to where I needed to go. Everyone's not afforded that luxury, so now I understand why people use public transportation. It might be a little lengthy to get where you're going, but it gets you where you're going and back to where you're trying to get to. That's all I'm saying on that. So, also piggybacking on me growing up in Texas, I grew up around a lot of Latinx people, and because of the things I heard from people around me, it kind of made me biased towards Latinx people.
He is. I had to correct him when we first started dating.
I was.
Because he didn't get it. And I don't think he's working on it. Sometimes you have these moments where it's like...
Sometimes I had a moment like back to where I was like before I moved. But now it's just like... They never bothered me. It's just...
Stereotypes.
Yeah, it's just basically the stereotypes that I've seen and that I heard about Latinx people.
So, this isn't... I mean, it's a bias. I don't trust white people. Like, I'm just going to put that out there. I don't necessarily... I have white friends, though.
Now, we're not saying all white people are bad.
Because I have white friends.
We're talking about the ones that don't check their privilege, or the ones that are aware of their privilege.
Or not even that. If I see a white person out in public, I'm like, okay, am I safe? Which I guess that's kind of more of adapting and, like, adapting to my environment and making sure I'm safe. But
and code switching.
Yeah. I code switch. Kay seen me code switch. Often, actually.
I don't like to do it, but if I have to, I will.
You shouldn't have to code switch. No one has to code switch.
Now that my voice is as deep as it is, I had to at work, so I just got like comfortable enough to where I found that medium to where it's just like I'm still somewhat me, but I'm still acceptable enough for this environment. The way people dress out here
Okay, so I don't know if that's actually problematic. Just get dressed in LA. They think
That's problematic because we judge people about how they present.
that's not problematic because they can't figure out how to fucking coordinate.
It's problematic.
It's not. Okay, they could be problematic.
Me and Ren are both somewhat of fashionistas, so we expect everyone to be on par when they go places. It's just certain people when we go out places, they look a little,
A little rough
on the hood side, and
that's something we do.
And they're usually our skin folk, so we kind of look at them sideways. But I also have to remember that not everyone was raised the same way I was. So
well, no, you couldn't dress until you met me, but that's besides the point. But I really, you couldn't dress.
Have you seen your old on this day memories on Facebook?
That's when I was like teenager figuring out my style. But since I moved to LA, I figured it out. In college, I hadn't figured it out yet.
Exactly.
But you figured it out at the age of 25.
24.
When you moved out here, because don't remember the picnic shirt.
That's one polo shirt.
You still want to buy them, and I could be like, give me your hand. Whatever.
Picnic, that word is very problematic.
Yeah, picnic is a very bad word. Don't say that.
Explain to them why it's problematic.
Look it up yourself. Google's free.
What else?
What?
What else is problematic?
Kason? Okay, well, me and him are both a little bit classist. I think I might be because I'm a little bit stuck up. I know that. But I don't ever try to blame the person for being in their situation.
How about black people being in that situation?
Okay, you don't do that either. We both know better than to do that. It's just that.
Well, one thing I have learned with being out here that homelessness, I always knew homelessness wasn't controlled, but being in Los Angeles, a lot of homeless people with mental illnesses which prevent them from doing anything like going to get a job or even doing anything to stabilize them. So I have kind of pushed aside that bias, especially when we working with homeless
excuse me,
people. I see it on a daily basis that everyone isn't there. Everyone isn't mentally able to do things that I can do, so I have to check that privilege for myself.
I mean, really, we all have biases. Like, there's no changing that. But I think it's when you acknowledge them is where it becomes problematic when you really kind of, what's the word I'm trying to?
Ignore them.
Not only ignore them, but not stereotype. What's the word? Discriminate. When you discriminate against people based off of your biases. So like we're really working, we are acknowledging our biases so we can work past them and become better people. We're not saying these things are good or bad. It's just something we have to work through so we can be the most accepting people we can be.
Accepting non-judgmental people we can be.
That's hard.
It's really not. We just gotta, we're undoing what was done to us. We'll learn how to be better people so that when we have little people of our own, they won't be as messed up as we.
Oh wait, you wanna know what the most problematic thing Kason does? I forgot to mention this. He tries to control what I wear at all times because yeah.
Something I can try to control it. I want Ren to wear clothes.
I don't like clothes.
That's also, it's not problematic, it's very annoying. Ren could walk outside with no shirt on if I would let them, and it's just like, you also think about the type of energy and people you're attracting to you too.
Men are gonna look if I have on a hoodie and sweatpants. They're gonna look if I have on a bralette and leggings. So I might as well be comfortable if people are gonna look. I will not let my sexuality be controlled by the male gaze.
I'm not controlling sexuality.
I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about men. That's what you don't like people staring at me.
You don't like people staring at me. You complain with people. I get too many comments on an Instagram post.
Okay, this is the end of this video. This case is about to get in trouble. We're about to see you again on our next video.
I'm about to get in trouble.
Okay, I like to think Case is going to get in trouble, but he's just going to look at me with those cute little eyes. I'm like, alright, whatever. But until next time, I am Ren.
And I'm Casey.
I don't know who the hell you roll your eyes at. I can roll them harder. Bye bye. Comment, like, and subscribe.
Follow us on all our social media.